Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Rex, and in today's video it's going to be a little more unique than my others because today I'm going to be making some Fakemon. Now, what exactly are Fakemon? Fakemon are fake Pokemon, as the name implies, but they're mostly just fake Pokemon that a fan of the franchise has made with their imagination to make what they think could survive in the Pokemon world. Sometimes their designs can be goofy, unique, strange, or just plain silly, but either way, it's still a Fakemon, and today I'm going to be making a few designs that I think could work as Fakemon. Now, since this first video is going to be what could be an ongoing series, I'm going to be making this video about the starter Pokemon of my region. Now, starter Pokemon are Pokemon that you, begin at the start of your journey. There's always been around 3 options in every single game, not including Pikachu and Eevee, obviously. But there's always been grass, water, and fire, and these Pokemon evolve 2 times that can represent the growth of you and your Pokemon as you progress through the game. Usually a rival will pick one too, and this might be the most important decision of a normal playthrough. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's make some Fakemon. Alright, first up is the grass starter. Funny thing about this is, I've actually changed it about like 3 times, and when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, I've redesigned it 3 times, but like I've redesigned them probably like 5 or 6 times, but I mean I've changed the entire species and concept like 3 or 4 times. First up, it was a platypus, so then I replaced it with a Quoko. So for this concept of the grass starter, I thought it would be cool, since we've never had any bug related Pokemon, if I made it a prey mantis. So I started sketching and I found a shape that I really liked with the eyes, so I didn't take it too much like literal goggles, since I wanted this to be a bug and ice type that had ice claws and ski goggles, or at least like its eyes were ski goggle like, so it could see in blizzards. And I made it more lanky, which is still cute, but it's also kind of rare in starters, since like we've only had a few, like Chimchar or Scorbunny, might be another, but I can't think of it at the moment. Eventually I got to colors, and I found a really unique desaturated green next to a pretty dark saturated green, which I thought looked pretty good. And then I went with a super unique palette, and those orange accent colors that you might see on screen right now look a lot like ski goggles, since they can like have faded yellow or faded orange. I just thought it would be a unique grass starter kind of color, since you can look at any starters and just be like, yeah, that's such and such region. And I think the colors I came up with are pretty good, and I came up with a super desaturated light cyan to hint at its future ice typing, which I thought looked pretty good. Introducing Frostbloom, the petite mantis Pokemon. With its bright orange goggle-like eyes, Frostbloom can go into the darkest caves and heaviest blizzards and still be able to see. Because of this, Frostbloom are often the top pick starter for travelers searching for gold or other hidden treasures. Frostbloom often hide in snowbanks to keep their temperature cool to survive. Next up is the middle stage, which I thought would be kind of cool if it had like kind of a Drizzile personality, where it was like a moody teenager. Unfortunately, this didn't work out, and I kept trying to sketch it, and eventually I did like line art 2 to 3 times, and it just didn't look that great. So then my friend Fernie gave me a sketch that really helped me out, and I was having a lot of trouble with this design. So I changed up his sketch a bit by changing the shape of the head just a tiny bit, changing the antenna barely, and made the neck and legs more bug-like. Now this sketch helped so much. Thank you very much, Fernie, if you're watching this. The colors were pretty easy. All I did was just copy and paste it from the first stage and change up the blue. Like, that's really it. But saying that, here is a leaf from Aloof and Leaf. Aleaf, the snow mantis Pokemon. Aleaf are now more alert and ready for action. Its claws have become fully covered in ice and are much heavier, but also much stronger. Upon evolving, Aleaf has now better vision in blizzards, stronger abilities, and is faster than ever before. It usually resides in cold caves on mountaintops, and will sometimes leave its claws in freezing waters to help boost its power. I'm very happy with this design, and I just love the little patterns it has on its belly, and I just think it's such a good combination with the glasses and the colors. I'm so happy with this. Now for the final stage of the grass starter. I wanted this stage to look like powerful and menacing, but still want majestic and sweet. Like, he knows that there's danger in the world to defend himself, but he can still enjoy life, even though he knows there's a lot of bad things that are out to kill him, like fire types. Now, I sketched something similar to middle stage in terms of like the goggles, but I thought it looked a lot like it got bigger kind of stage, especially with all the feedback I was getting that said that. And then I used a Lurantis as reference, and while it looked good, I just wasn't happy with what I wanted with this design. It didn't work. So I changed the head to a more mantis-like shape, which was suggested by one of my friends, and I gave it ice skates to add on to the concept of the strong yet majestic. Colors were a bit as easy as the other two. All I really did was make the orange slightly more vibrant and make the blue from the middle stage just more light. Introducing the final stage of the grass starter, Frigidus from Frigid and Mantis, the Ice Blade Pokemon. With its giant claws of ice, Frigidus can cut through almost anything, as its claws are as hard as steel and will continue to get stronger the longer Frigidus spends in snowy weather. Frigidus can use its claws and unique ice skates to climb mountains and cliffs easily. Its unique ice blades on its feet can be used to ski down mountains or drift across ice. Next up is the Fire Starter, which is probably my favorite of the three and the one that I would personally pick if I was given the choice of this region. I wanted this design to be cute, yet chill, and still looks like it had personality. First thing that popped in my head was a coral snake, but I wanted it to be more unique than just stripes, so I guess I kind of made like what looked like armor, I guess. I don't really know, it just fits. I don't know why, it just does. I gave him a small pattern on his nose to look somewhat like a band-aid, like, you know, he's a little child, he gets hurt all the time. Oh, cute. But it was meant to be somewhat like a match lighter, like I imagine that if he had his little tail and scratched it on his nose, it would make fire just ignite all over his tail, like a match, obviously. Colors. I hope you guys like the design. Here's Flamattle, the Burn Bite Pokemon. Flamattle might seem cute and innocent, but if it gets angry, its chest flame will continue to burn brighter until it burns down an entire city to the ground. Flamattle are very easy to train, but will occasionally ignore its trainer due to lack of food or sleep. Flamattle's stomach has stomach acid that increases to temperatures higher than lava. This means Flamattle can digest anything it can swallow. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the middle stage because, I'm going to be honest, I really just want to redesign this eventually, so I'll probably just come back to the time-lapse once I actually redesign this. Next up is the final stage, which might just be the best starter in my opinion, out of all of these types. This of course will be a snake, but I thought of having the nose pad from Flamattle, aka the first stage, turned into a crown, which would be a pretty cool twist, especially the concept I'm about to tell you. It's based on multiple snakes, but it's mostly based off king cobras, hence the crown and flame hood, and boa constrictors, hence the reason why he's, you know, big! This would probably be the biggest starter out of all the ones that we have in every region so far. I mean, it's a giant snake, like what are you gonna do? I used to be really bad at rendering flames when I first got my iPad, but I think I'm getting better and better at it every time I render flames. So, introducing the final stage of my fire starter line, here's Blizzurpent, the fire serpent Pokemon. Blizzurpent are often very smart and quick in battle, using their sharp heat vision and unique scales. They can sneak up on almost anything silently, even for how big they are. Blizzurpent often have their fire hoods up and ready to attack, but when relaxed or calmed, their hood will burn out until angered or tempted again. Blizzurpent's fangs can harness up to 1 million degrees. The longer it charges up its fangs, the more power its bite will have. Alright, now for the final typing for my starters, water. This wasn't too difficult since I kind of had an idea of what I wanted this to look like, because as soon as I thought of this concept, I was like, ooh, alright, I know exactly what I want to do with this. So I just wanted a small gooey sea snail that had tear patterns on its cheeks and a little gray shell just to hide in. Like, pretty scaled, normal proportioned shell, just like about as big as his entire body. By the way, his head is like 3/4 of his body, so yeah. You know, he's a little sad dude, he's a chill guy. Here's Marion, the glow snail Pokemon. Marion are often very shy and will often hide in their shell unless it knows it can trust you. If in danger, Marion will hide in their shell, which is said to be harder than even the toughest of steel. The pink dots on Marion's face will glow bright in the dark, which is helpful for the usual deep water habitat. time for the middle stage. This was really unique for, I think, 2 reasons. One is because it has its eyes stalking out, which the first stage nor final stage has. Secondly, I made the middle stage after the final stage, so it was easier, but like also harder. Since this was made after the other 2 stages, I really just combined the colors from the 2 to make a good middle ground. Like, I used the gray and the blue from the shell and just kind of mixed it to make it a little more less vibrant. A little more less vibrant. Let me rephrase that. A little less vibrant. Here's Octoshy, the shy shell Pokemon. Octoshy are known for being extremely shy around humans and even other Pokemon. Because of this, they tend to be very difficult to train and require a lot of attention from their trainer. Octoshy have very fragile and squishy bodies, which leads them to only stick their long antenna-like eyes out to sea. Finally, time for the final stage. I know that joke sucked. This stage is going to be similar to the other 2, but kinda unique because it switches animals entirely. You see, this final stage is going to be an octopus. Yeah, I know, pretty far-fetched. Even though it's weird, think about it. Sea snails have shells, and octopus can have shells with certain species, like mollusks or whatever the modern version of those things are. I have no idea what the hell they're called. This stage was supposed to be somewhat of a superhero, and the concept was an octopus that evolves from being a shy little shellfish thingy that hides in its shell underwater to an octopus that uses its psychic energy radiating from its shell helmet to gain enough strength to create a fully functioning muscle-like tentacle. Or 4. Or 8. I don't know. I hope you like it. Here's Octomarine, the psychic muscle Pokemon. With their unique psychic abilities, Octomarine can tighten their tentacles' grip together to walk on land with their tentacles, which can mimic the human muscle. Not only can they mimic the human muscle and walk and breathe on land, but can even lift something as heavy as a car with a bit of help from their psychic powers, which radiate from their shell helmet. Also, remember, if you're ever making a starter, which each line of the starters, the concept should evolve with the personality. My grass starter is smart and unaware of the dangers of the world. It evolves and becomes alert and ready for anything, and then evolves knowing the dangers of the world, but can still enjoy life and dance and have fun wherever it wants, and whenever it wants. Even if that place is a freezing tundra mountain in the middle of nowhere. My fire starter is happy and sweet to everyone. It evolves and has a huge ego, which makes it end up losing a lot of battles because of its arrogance. Then it evolves knowing it's not strong enough to destroy everything, yet it tries with all of its might to defeat what it knows it can easily beat. The water starter is shy and doesn't trust many people. It evolves and is even more terrified now that it knows how easily it can be beaten. Then, once it reaches its final stage, now it knows that it can still try to defeat what it can, and tries to save others while also defying its limits. Whenever you make starter Pokemon, be sure you evolve the concept while telling a story. The whole reason people pick a certain starter Pokemon automatically is because the concept and design appeals to them. Well, that's going to be it for all the starters. Let me know which one you would pick in your journey in the Ausseos region. Be sure to like and subscribe. As always, have a Feathertastic day. Rex out. Peace.